What's up, guys? Welcome back to Demystifying History. Do you like to sleep? Almost everyone enjoys their sleep. Sleep, and that to the right amount, is essential for a healthy body and mind. When I get into my bed, snug into my quilt, I feel cozy, comfortable, and most importantly, safe. I'm relatively sure that this is how most people feel. But what if I told you that your safe space could be haunted by something extremely sinister and intensely terrifying?
Ladies and gentlemen, let me start off today's episode with a story. April 1987, Chicago. A man sleeping suddenly gets up, screams, and dies. He's middle-aged. He has no medical problems. A post-mortem analysis reveals no definitive cause of death. No cardiac arrest, no hemorrhage, poisoning, bleeding, nothing. Yet, he's the 130th victim of what they call Bangungut, the nightmare death. Whenever it strikes, it's always men, average age around 30 to 35, and it always happens at night when they are asleep. This story and others like it are not made up in the slightest. This is a genuine and highly frightening phenomena that affects people in the real world. So, let's establish who it has affected in the past. Most of the nightmare death cases were reported of people from a Laotian, Filipino, or Vietnamese origin. It was first noted in 1977 among Southeast Asian Hmong refugees in the United States and Canada. During the Vietnam War, the US utilized local resources like men and munitions from the region. When they evacuated the area and the Laotian and Vietnamese governments fell to communist rule, all the men who supported the US in their struggle were now at the mercy of these new governments. These men were tormented and chased out of their dwellings, ending up in different parts of the world, only to be chased by something else. In 1981 alone, more than 26 people succumbed to the nightmare death. An account of a younger victim goes something like this. The boy would claim that if he slept, the thing chasing him would get him. So, he would try to remain awake for days on end. His parents tried giving him sleeping pills, but he would spit them out every night. Eventually, one night while watching TV, he fell asleep. His parents literally carried him up to bed. A few minutes later, they heard screams coming from his room in the middle of the night. And by the time they had reached, he was dead. In his closet, they found a coffee maker and all the pills he would spit up every night. Once again, the autopsy revealed no apparent cause of death. This was a story recounted by horror master Wes Craven. If that name doesn't ring a bell, this picture surely will. Freddy Krueger, the Dream Killer. Wes Craven read these stories and said he was inspired to create the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise. Alright, let's dive into the possible causes of this phenomena. Naturally, since this is a sporadic and horrifying phenomena, it has become such an urban legend in Laos, Vietnam, and the Philippines. The Centers for Disease Control in the United States first recognized the term Bangungut, which means to arise and moan from the word nightmare in the Tagalog language. In Japan, the syndrome was identified and named Mukuri, which meant sudden death. In Thailand, this syndrome is called Latai, which is supposed to mean sleep death. In Laos, it is called non-Latai, which ironically also means sleep death. And in Hawaii, it's called dream disease. But in the medical language, it is known as sudden unexplained nocturnal death syndrome, or SUNDS. Naturally, science hasn't explained this phenomena adequately, hence we are talking about it. But they have a few theories, so let's just go through them. Number 1. Stress. Some doctors and anthropologists believe that since most of the victims were Hmong refugees who had to leave their homes and assimilate into a new culture, stress of all this together could have caused the syndrome. Number 2. Genetic heart defects. This seems to be the more likely explanation. Most of the Vietnamese and Laotian people lived in jungles, forming tribes and clans. Their secluded lifestyle was prone to inbreeding, which led to genetic defects. Doctors suggest that since the Hmong collectively were from this region, they may have died due to the aforementioned reasons. In such a case, the syndrome is also referred to as sudden cardiac death, or SCD. In the past decades, science has made incredible headways into unraveling the mysteries of unexpected sleep deaths. But still, the research out of these cohorts of patients who could benefit from science is a formidable task. For many in the remote Monduks and rural areas, their night world will continue to be ruled by their myths, superstitions, and folklore. Inevitably, science will be forging and fishing into the sea of folklore and legends to further investigate this mystery. But for now, the why, what, and how of unexpected sudden nocturnal deaths still remain enigmatic.
So, ladies and gentlemen, there will always be things that we understand and things we don't. It is a never ending human endeavor to demystify things that we cannot comprehend. But let me tell you, there will always be a remainder in this equation. These are the things that continue to be unexplainable, and this is most certainly one of them. Well, if you enjoyed the video, a like and subscribe would be deeply appreciated. And that being said, my name is Vedant, this is Demystifying History, and I'll catch you in the next one.